Hi guys, Gilly Hunt here with a lovely box here that was designed by Michelle at our team meeting, and she gave it to us as a little project to design and do the fronts of, and we weren't given very much time and we weren't given very many products, so this was my blingity bling starry spangled front and star spangled little ends to the threads, all using this wonderful glimmer paper that we have, and a little tiny star punch. So that's what I made, but I've gone on from there, and now that I've been reminded of this lovely box, I've been making it using a completely different series of paper, and I thought I'd bring it to you. So here it is. It's the Let It Snow pack of designer paper, which some of which have snowmen. There we are, snowmen on one side of this one, stripes on the other, and you'll see at the end of the video I've got lots and lots of other ones to show you to get you inspired. But let's show you what we're going to do first of all. So I'm going to decide to use the stripes rather than the snowmen, and so I'm going to fold it in half with the side that I want the box to be showing. So that's this designer paper side, and that's the red and white stripe, and I'm using my bone folder. This is a wonderful tool, available at jewellery.com, as are all the papers, as are all the items I'm using today. It just gives you a nice crease, and of course our papers are such good quality that they don't crack and break. Look how beautifully sharp that is, not an ounce of breakage, not an ounce of white showing. So we've folded it in half, and now I'm going to give you a little top tip. I'm going to take a piece of ordinary, what do we call it? Post-it note, and I'm just going to chop the top part off, and I'm going to put it there where we folded it in half, and I'm going to put it there where we folded it in half. And I'm just going to mark with a nice clear that line exactly where we folded it. Why am I going to do that? Because it's much easier to see it than trying to find where that crease is on this busy side of the paper. So let me make sure it's really well lined up. There we go. And I'm going to do the same here, and I'm going to do the same here. And it's a really good top tip, because what many times you do is you mark your paper and then you're having to rub it out, or you actually have to hide your mark. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle point of this, and I don't want to fold it in half. I only want to just take a little pinchy crease at the top. And there's the pinchy crease, so I can now put a nice clear pencil mark on that and a pencil mark on that. And I've now got really clear positioning. And I'm going to take a small, anything that's flat, but I happen to have a nice little tiny ruler, and I'm going to put it from one end of that mark to the other end of that mark, and I'm going to fold the paper up. Now, if you've got a scoreboard, or you've got our trimmer, which has a fabulous scorer on it, you can do this with a scoreboard. But I wanted to show you that it's possible to do this for anyone who has or hasn't got equipment. So for a beginner, you can go to Gilly Hunt, you can order yourself some lovely designer paper for £13. You get a great big pack full, and you can then start and make this without any more equipment. So from what I'm doing whilst I'm chattering away is I am folding from each of the points to the point, each of the point to the point. I'm going to use the bone folder to make sure every one of those creases is nice and sharp, because I want a nicely finished box. But again, if you don't want to buy lots of equipment at the beginning as a beginner, you could do that with your nail. Now this is the point at which I don't need these marks anymore. So look, I just take them off and I now have that, and I don't have nasty marks and pencils to rub out. And this is where the magic starts, because all I've done is gone point to point to point to point to point and across the middle. And now I take the sides, and as I pull it up and I push the sides in, look what happens. I end up with that triangular box that we had at the beginning. Fabulous, isn't it? And now all I'm going to do is pinch together the top and put a hole in at the top to thread some thread through. Now again, I'm using a clipper, but you don't need that. You could do this with a needle, you could do this with a hole punch, or you could simply glue it all together. But I want it to be nice and easy to open and close. Okay, and so I'm going to go through there. And now all I need to do is to thread some thread through there, and I am finished. And the thread I'm going to thread through is this beautiful stuff. This is absolutely lovely. It comes on a lovely big reel, and it's our polka dot twill ribbon. Okay, and you get 10 lovely yards of it, and it makes fabulous bows. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, and you'll notice I'm using my terrible scissors, because my other scissors are packed away ready for my Christmas party with my craft club, and they were right at the bottom, so apologies. Okay, now it's almost impossible to thread this through because it's quite a collapsy, soft, delicate ribbon. So this is what I'm going to do. So 2 top tips in one video. How amazing is that? I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. Here we go. And I am going to put it on the middle of my ribbon. And then I am going to roll it round, roll it round, roll it round, roll it round. And what I'm doing is I'm almost making like you do on the end of a shoelace, you know, you're making a little pointy end. And this now, because it's washi tape, is going to be a lot less floppy than the ribbon was. So through it goes now. So 1, 2, that'd have been better if I hadn't used quite so much tape, to be honest, but it's still going through much easier than you would if you were poking through a ribbon. And all I'm doing, just so you can be sure, is I've done one of the outside, then the two, through the 2 in the middle, and then this through the outside, and that leaves me with the 2 outside ones facing in the same direction. So we have our split at the back. Okay, there we go. And all I do now is just chop off that little end where the bit of washi tape was, and I can now tie the top, and I have a perfectly lovely little box, which, because I'm doing it as a bow, can be opened and closed, so I can go back later on and I can put a really pretty little package in there, not a little package but a little gift in there. Okay, I'm just going to tidy this up. I hate it when the ribbons don't quite fit nicely. Okay, now I did promise you I'd show you some more samples. So these are all using the Let It Snow designer paper pack. So they're all using this paper pack. And how about these? All sorts of different sizes and shapes. Again, using the really pretty tool. Simple little red bow and a Merry Christmas for this one. I've made a much longer, I'm going to have to move some of these out of the way, a much longer, taller one. Okay, I've also made, let's put some of these out to the side, I've also made one with a rather lovely little tag and bells. Okay, I've used a very simple one here, really simple but perfect for hanging on a tree. Perfectly small but even tinier still, a little tiny stripy one with 2 little dots. Very pretty for on a tray. And I think last but not least, I've had so many of these, I don't know which ones I've shown you. I'm a jewellery maker, and I often go into the charity shops and buy old necklaces which I cut up and use for making earrings and beads and all sorts, and I often get a few little beads left over. So here's a couple of little crystally type beads I had left over, and I've popped them onto a string and added a couple of little snowflakes. So here we go, some lovely simple boxes, all using that wonderful, ooh, how many can I squeeze into the space? All using that wonderful Let It Snow pack of paper. Thanks for that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye bye.